fishing news is sponsored by these fine partners.
In last week's video forecast, we talked about the small offshore window last Thursday and possibly into Friday last week, with folks hammering the yellowfin on the jig and chunk in the neighborhood of the triple wrecks in Bacardi. Plenty of life out there. Tuna chicks, some whales, skipjacks on the boil, and numerous double and triple header hookups as well on the nomad and butterfly style jigs, the Chuck Norris poppers. Now, having a center console with a double or triple outboard makes it easier to cast and pop and to fight fish all the way around the helm station, from bow to stern, up and over, clearing rods and lines along the way. I was able to get out with a few friends on Thursday, midday, an hour and a half out, 2 hours of fishing, 5 in the box, a release or two, and back cleaning the boat and the fish as the sun set along the Metitaconk. Now, it's been a couple of years since the yellowfin bite has been this good, and hopefully after the big swells over this past weekend, it doesn't take too long to find that amazing yellowfin action once again. But if you can steal away an afternoon or an overnighter to gaff a few lines for the weekend grilling, I highly recommend it. Get your crew together, get them together, and get offshore. I'm Jim Hutchinson, New Jersey, Delaware Bay edition of the Fisherman magazine, bruised and bloodied with my buddy Gary Vianos. Well, the bruises were mine, the blood, that belonged to the yellowfin. But that's the way the action was at the end of last weekend, and I would hope that that action is in place again right now. Now, those looking to hit the offshore grounds from the Texas Tower and the Hudson down to the Spencer, Linden Cole, all the way down to the Baltimore, you might find a good opportunity weather-wise as far as midweek, according to the folks at NOAA Weather. According to NOAA Weather, we're looking mainly at 3 to 4s Thursday through Sunday. Winds from 5 to 15 knots, depending on the day. Again, choose your window the best you can. We had 2-footers last Thursday, 3 to 4s. Still pretty appropriate. As far as tips on where those yellowfin, the bigeye, and the marlin might be, this is a very hard week to get any proper intel. Certainly not getting the best intel at the Fisherman magazine. Nobody wants to burn spots this week. And the dockside chatter and the VHF buzz, that's also mainly mum. And the reason being is the big MidAtlantic Tournament out of South Jersey Marina in Cape May, and also out of Sunset Marina in Ocean City, Maryland. That tournament this week, the MidAtlantic, boasts a record purse. Over $4 million is being paid out in that contest, and a record field, over 183 boats. So you can understand the secrecy. But there have been a few impressive fish brought to scale already this week. The MJ's crew with Captain Michael Yacco, a 189-pound bigeye. And this guy, young Michael, he's young. He's been targeting bigeye since he was a teenager. The guy knows his stuff. Bigeye tuna, if you're really going to focus on bigeye, you can happen along a couple of bigeye sometimes, where you can also focus on these bigeye like Michael and the MJ's crew. 189-pound fish is quite the fish. Another recognizable name for a lot of folks, longtime Fisherman subscribers, remember the name Captain Pete Barrett. Pete was my mentor. He was also a mentor to so many fishing writers and fishermen over the years. Pete started the Fisherman magazine's New Jersey edition almost 40 years ago. Well, he also mentored his son, Captain Rich Barrett. Rich has been running a boat, the Shark Bite, for quite a few years. Well, Captain Rich and crew brought a whopping 791-pound blue marlin to the Mid-Atlantic scales this week at Sunset Marina in Ocean City, Maryland. Unfortunately, the Shark Bite's big blue was mutilated by a shark bite. Sometimes irony strikes hard. A violation of IGFA rules which caused the Mid-Atlantic Tournament to disqualify that fish. 791-pound blue marlin. Nice job, Captain Rich Barrett and the crew of Shark Bite. Now, if you would like a little bit more tactical advice for getting offshore, I would advise you to pick up the August edition of the Fisherman magazine. It's been on newsstands for a few weeks now. A couple of great articles in there. Captain Alra's Story has one on deep drop swordfish. Good article there. And my friend Nick Konacheski talks about pot hopping mahi trips, which you can take right now. Now, I've been asked in recent weeks about pot hopping. Where am I going to find those pots? Well, a couple of different places. First of all, if you're one of the first people out the inlet in the morning, look for those sea buoys, those markers for the inlets. If you're first out and hasn't been worked over too hard, you might find a cobia or some Spanish mackerel or maybe a mahi there. If you're going out to some of these reef sites, you'll find a small area now where some fish pots, the high flyers, are marked off. We don't have that pots on reef problem we had years ago here at the Jersey Shore, but you will find a small area where you'll find those high flyers. Axel Carlson, some of the reef sites offshore all the way down to Cape May and Wildwood Reef. Look in those particular areas as well. There's a research buoy off of Central Jersey. A few people know about it. That's been worked over pretty hot and heavy. And of course, you'll find flashes of mahi. Mostly chickens are popping up at the ridges and lumps as well. I've heard of a few chickens at spots like McCrae's off of Cape May. Got this picture from a friend. A delicious looking double net job. A mahi and a fluke in the same net. That was Captain Bob Cope, who runs Full Ahead Sport Fishing out of Cape May. I thought maybe this might have been at McCrae's. He said it was a little bit deeper. There's nothing wrong with those trips where you can double up on the inshore chickens as well as fluke as well. Now, worthwhile fluking on the reefs and wrecks as well as those deep water spots. That's where you want to focus if you're looking for some good fluke action. Joe Rod, aka Joe the Plumber, he was out on the Fisherman out of Atlantic Highlands with Captain Ron over the weekend. A monster 12-pound, 14-ounce flukeasaurus. This was his personal best. It went 31 inches long, 14 inches wide. Again, if you're looking for personal best doormats from Manasquan and the Axel Carlson up past Shark River, the Rattlesnake, and that deep water up along the Raritan, I would advise, if you're coming from out of the area, if you're in South Jersey, Pennsylvania, those are some good charters and some party boats you might want to look towards, because there's definitely some big fish up there. Now, John Cardassi, he let me know that he and his daughter, Allie Peterson, found the current in some of that deep water at Sandy Hook Channel just racing too fast. So they set up on Romer Shoal, still found some good action there. So there is the benefit of finding a little bit of skinny water. But again, doormats in some of the big water and deep structure, but you can still find some good action in the inlets and along those shoals as well. Of course, peanut bunker are thick in the back too, so make sure if you've got a live well, try to cast net some peanut bunker, keep that in the live well. Good for throwing around those pots and sea buoys for dolphin, right? But also good for some of those big fluke on the bottom. Another personal best that I found out about this week was from my friend Captain Alex Majewski out of Barnegat. 9¼ pounds, a real fatty too. This was 27 inches long, but still 9¼ pounds weighed in over at Creekside Outfitters in Waretown this week. I mentioned those peanut bunker. If you're looking for a different rigging technique, I know a lot of folks are using fluke spoons now. I remember the Viper spoons from years ago. Some folks are using the M3 tackle spoons. There's a great article in this week's edition of the Fisherman magazine from Tom Melton on using those fluke spoons in conjunction with your favorite fluke rigs. Now, these spoons are terrific. A lot of them are being used offshore or outside the inlets, but I know of a few folks who use them inside as well. Now, while you're over at thefisherman.com, you will notice, of course, we have a brand new website. Subscribers, once you update your username and password, you're going to really enjoy it. It's easier to manage, much cleaner overall. It's easier to read that digital edition that you members only have access to. You can also check out all 3 editions, New England, Long Island, and the New Jersey, Delaware Bay edition. Non-subscribers, you can enjoy it too, for the most part, limited time, limited taste. Then the firewall comes crashing down, as this is mostly a members only thing. The weekly features, inshore, offshore, freshwater, recipes, the surf column, product reviews, all the latest fishing reports, news and information. Of course, like details on the new tilefish permits required as of this week. You can also go to the New Jersey section, check out my editor's log for this week. The editorial will be available online 38 times a year. I did a little Facebook poll recently of just the lady anglers I'm friends with, asked them a little question. So it was the lady anglers who helped me with this week's editor's log. Again, go check it out. Members, you subscribers, you're getting that digital edition. Go in. The first thing you're going to want to do when you go to thefisherman.com is update your username and password. Lady anglers, women fishermen, fishermen like Kim Mahan here. Kim and I went to high school together, but she's still not revealing where the sheepshead are located, where she's finding them. I am getting some reports, though, on the sod and sedges from Little Egg down into Cape May County of a few good fish to be found. Those dunking crab jigs, triggers, black drum, and yes, the sheepshead are in there as well. In fact, I just received a really cool email this week from Vadim Doyamin. Duyaman, forgive me for mispronouncing that, but Vadim said this. He said, I normally fish the Manasquan Ocean Grove area, but I took a family trip to Cape May for the weekend, and I decided, per your advice last week, to try and target some sheepshead while I was down there. I stopped at Hands 2 Bait and Tackle in Cape May to get some bait and knowledge since I'd never really fished that far south. The guy there at Hands 2 was super helpful. Took the time to go over some techniques with me, even showed me the best way to bait the crabs, using one of their shedder crabs on a high-low rig cast right next to the jetty from the surf. He was able to land this beast of a sheepshead, 23 inches, 11 pounds. It was Vadim's first ever sheepshead. He said it was an awesome fight. It was also a delicious dinner. That's true. Sheepshead, tough to clean. You almost need a serrated knife to get that started, just like with those black drums. Big, thick scales, but they are very tasty. A couple of other tasty critters in tight right now. Kingfish is another one. Andy at Riptide Bait and Tackle in Brigantine said he continues to see the same fishing we've had all summer long. He said kingfish, kingfish, kingfish. Marcia. Kingfish have been dominating the Brigantine surf, and now spot have moved in as well. Still some flounder off the beach, summer flounder of course, but not much to write home about is what Andy said. He's also got those tog in along the jetty. If you find the hot spot, you'll find a keeper for the pan. Andy said he has plenty of green crabs and tog rigs in store as well. Again, green crabs, tog rigs, not just the tog, that one fish bag limit, but you also might stumble into a good sheepshead or some triggerfish as well. Those fish love the same baits, they love the same presentations, and they love the same general locations. For a western location, we'll go out to a different location. We'll go out from the northwest streams of New Jersey on out to the Pocono Mountains with a report from my friend George, the Pocono Outdoors guy.
Hey, thanks, Jim. You know, the nice weather is returning, and it's certainly having a positive effect on the fishing. A lot cooler temps here. Temps here in the big lakes are actually down around 80 degrees. Not too bad for August. And that's also turning some fish on. But the fishing in the rivers is still the big news. Even in the local streams here. I wanted to mention Eric Goodstill. I reached out to him this week, and he told me he got a hat trick. That the trout trifecta, as he put it, where he got, in one morning, he caught a rainbow, a brown, and a brookie all on spinners. So the trout action continues to heat up. I think that'll be going strong through the rest of the season. Great action there. Be sure you get out on it. Also, the Delaware is producing really, really well right now. I was talking with Bruce Pashley. He managed to get himself a really nice Delaware River striper out on some topwater. So there's a couple of those holdover stripers, guys, still in the river. You don't want to miss that. A really great catch here again in the Delaware River by young TJ Alicia. He got himself a really, really chunky little smallmouth again on the Delaware River. Even the young guys, 10-year-olds, are killing it here on some of these waters. Now also, you go out to Jersey, Justin Lerner, he's been hitting that Passaic every weekend, and he continues to hit it big with some of these pike. Great catch there. Get out. I mean, when you can get pike in the middle of August, you're doing a great job. So that's a really nice fishery out there. Now, I was talking with Patrick Carey, and he was up on Lake Wallenpaupack. He managed to get in some smallmouth as well. So the fishing's even picking up on the lakes as well as the rivers. Now, I was talking with Chris Johnson. He was fishing some of these little smaller ponds. Actually, it's called Mud Pond, and he got himself a nice smallmouth as well. These smallies are just running like crazy here, even midsummer. And even his little guys, his Mason Johnson, that's his little 5-year-old son, managed to get in the action too with a nice little perch. So panfish are biting, trout are biting, holdover stripers, smallmouth. It's all going on, guys. It's a great time of year. It's only going to get better as these water temps come back down a little bit. Let's get out and get on them. From Pennsylvania, I'm George, your Pocono Outdoors guy.
The Fisherman Magazine's Coastal Kayak Clash continues on this summer all the way through November. We have a leadership change. Chris Nevis broke out of his first place tie overall with a new top black sea bass entry of 22 3/4 inches. This gives Chris, a New Englander, 8 total points with the first place black sea bass, second place bluefish, and first place porgy. He leads New Jersey's Bob Wagner, who currently has 6 points with his first place bluefish, second place fluke, and third place porgy. Bob, get out there. Get yourself a one of these bonita. They got to be in tight at some point soon. August fish of the month is sea robin. Be sure to send pictures of those big birds because they could win you some valuable prizes. And when we're talking about winning points along multi-species, having a good-sized sea robin could be all that you need to get yourself into a brand new kayak at the end of this tournament. Get all the details over at thefisherman.com. You kayak anglers, it's free to enter. Just got to do so. This Saturday, August 22nd, Operation Hook It. It's an event to support our American heroes, the vets that risked it all to protect and preserve this great nation of ours, our liberties, our freedoms, and our values. If you're a veteran, you know a veteran, or you'd be interested in supporting this great event and others, you can send an email to hookit@ma22.org. Big thanks to Greg Kuchereski for keeping us updated on these incredible events and for his outstanding service to this country and to the veterans through these great fishing programs. Finally, you wicked tuna fans, you get a chance here to enjoy a little tease. This week's newest episode features the crew of the Fishing Frenzy as they get creative, coming up with ways to catch fish and stay notified overnight of the tuna bite. Now, you might know that Captain Greg Meyer of Fishing Frenzy, if you watch Wicked Tuna, he's a Jersey boy, heart and soul, cut his teeth here at the Jersey Shore, working the party and charter boats, fished with some of the tops, those guys that fished for giants here at the Jersey Shore back in the 80s. He's now running his Fishing Frenzy out of Virginia and North Carolina, and one of the top guys for Wicked Tuna. I thought you might be interested in this exclusive clip from this weekend's upcoming episode. It airs Sunday, August 23rd at 9 p.m. on National Geographic. Enjoy the exclusive, and we'll see you again next week right here at thefisherman.com.
We can't let the hot tuna lap us. They don't even have Jared on board. We should rig the can.
We got a can in the trash can, don't we?
Oh, yeah. Just rubber band it to both lines.
Basically, it's really calm and we're really tired. So we're gonna try and get some sleep. We got 2 baits out and we're gonna rig up the old jingle can as our alarm. Dirty's hooking it up right now on one of the rods. We're gonna tie this on the other end. And if we get a bite, this thing's gonna start jingling all the way out of here and wake everybody up in a hurry. Trap is laid. All right, let's all go to sleep, put in earplugs.
Let me know when we got them on.
Gotta love the can. One way to get woke up.
That's a good way to get woken up. I like
Yeah, the can, baby. He's on the bow rod, straight down. Oh, it's the one we've been after for a day and a half. Yeah, 30-some hours. 30-something hours, but you know, hey, it takes 5 minutes of chaos to get us all smiling again. It's perfect. Gotcha. Thanks, sir. Everything you've done.
All right, Jerry, come on, baby.
Feels good, feels tight, feels nice. He's taking it a little bit, he's holding that.
Fish is just laying straight down there. Straight down, just heavy, just taking a little bit of drag. We're not to fight a big fish during the day. A lot more to go wrong at night. You can't see what's going on.
You know, we gotta take our time, that's all. Break his spirit.
There we go, we got him about where we want him there now.
Come on. Woo.
There we go, we're gaining some line on him. He doesn't like that drag. That drag hurts him.
All right, that's him down there. You can see him now, color.
This is where everything's got to go right.
Yeah. See him? Right off the corner. It's a little out of reach for me, but right on the surface here. Oh, yeah, come on, baby. Getting close. All right, he's coming at us. Stick him! I got him.
Steigercraft boats, built by people who fish our waters. Serious anglers choose Steigercraft for their 40 years of boat building experience right here in the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic. Visit steigercraft.com for a dealer near you.